At Naples United Church of Christ, one of the things that we value is asking important questions. One of the questions that naturally arises is, what will my legacy be? When I'm no longer here, what will this church mean to others, like what it has meant to me? And one of the ways that people answer that question is by giving to our endowment. And so when those questions arise, people often ask their families, their community, their church. And so in a few moments, you'll hear a story about how one family answered those questions when Sam began asking them. And so I invite you now to listen to those questions, to listen to those honest and open conversations about Sam's journey, to listening to God, to asking those questions.
There are so many things special about NUCC to us. We love the church service every Sunday morning. We love the music in the church service every Sunday morning. But we really like the mission of the church and what it does, not just for parishioners, but for people outside the community and other communities, as a matter of fact. One of the things that became evident to me as we got involved in the church was the importance of the endowment. And the reason it's so important is that while it's nice to give money for daily operations and weekly operations, we have to keep this church going years into the future in a way that only endowments can do. We made decisions about what we would do for the endowment program for NUCC. And it was a joint effort. The kids all agreed with what we decided to do. And so it's important for them to be involved in that kind of thing, I think, because we want them to be generous in their thinking about things. We want them to think about important things to us as a family, important things to them with their families as they grow older. We decided that we wanted our endowment to be used for the ongoing maintenance of the property and grounds at the church, and the kids thought that was a fabulous idea. One of the things we're very interested in is the memorial garden. One of our daughters is buried there. So we used our entire family to make that decision, not just Kay's and my decision. It was our family's decision about what we ought to do and how it ought to be used. And they were all for it and participated fully in the discussions. You know, it really doesn't matter what amount you would consider for the endowment. It's not important. What's important is that you consider it because it's the future of this great church.
We are really blessed to be in a church like this. I mean, if you talk to other members, you think about it in your own life, this is an amazing church. And so when we thought about an endowment program, our motivation was to preserve the future of what's going so well right here. One of our hopes in building the endowment program was that we would have eventually a culture where every member who loves the church would take the time to think carefully as to whether it was appropriate for them to include the church in their estate plan. An estate plan is a way that we can leave a legacy. What's important to us when we're living can be continued through an endowment gift. And our choices there are many. While most of our members actually like the way it all fits together and make a gift to the unrestricted fund, other popular choices are a gift to the Music Endowment Fund or the Mission and Outreach Endowment Fund. We have other funds for facilities, but we listen carefully to what our members want and help preserve their legacy in that way. I've been fortunate to hear all of our donors tell their stories about what's important to them, why they wanted to make the gift that they chose to make. And it's been just a great accumulation of these different stories. And it all comes together to make a beautiful thing that is going to help preserve the future of this church that we love.